All right, here now is Joe Concha. He is the Hill media reporter. One of the biggest points that the president was making there was something we've heard a couple times over the past couple days, was this idea that because all of the focus has turned to this bomb scare, that the momentum that the Republicans had been building right before that on the back of what happened to Brett Kavanaugh, that this sort of stalled it. What do you think about that?
I think we have 12 days till the election, Melissa, right? And you work in the news business where you're covering this stuff every day. How many stories do you think are going to happen between now and the midterms where I'm not saying we forget about this?
685,000.
You know what? That is exactly right. That is exactly the number I was going to go with. In other words, things that were big even at the beginning of this week, can you even remember what that was? Because I really can't. And then the Kavanaugh hearings feel like they happened in 1994. I mean, that's the thing. If we live in the moment now, we say these bombings, or at least these attempted bombings or explosive devices, whatever you want to call them, that weren't very effective, obviously were done for political reasons, not really meant to hurt anybody because this guy clearly was deranged, didn't know what he was doing. It was meant to scare people. It seems more like that now. I think people see that for what it is, that these were sent strictly as a political message and not actually to hurt people. So I don't think if there were casualties and blood spilled, then we're talking a completely different ballgame. But I think this will be, again, not forgotten, but certainly in the rearview mirror quicker than we think it will.
In the run-up to the presidential election, what I remember the most was that every day there was a dramatic swing in one or the other direction. You went from deplorables to the Access Hollywood tape to the email scandal, back to then there was some terrorist attack, that it always felt like it only mattered on what day everyone voted, that it was like a jump ball, and that on that day, whoever had the news cycle was going to win. That was the way it felt. I know there are a lot of people out there that will argue with that idea and say, but, you know, to be fair, a lot of people didn't think the president was going to win. Do you think it's as volatile and variable now as it felt back then?
Yeah, I think, Melissa, that's a great point. I think in the end, one party had a message, or one candidate in 2016 had a message, and one didn't. Trump was saying, or the president was saying, candidate at the time, was saying, we're going to keep jobs here, we're going to make better trade deals, we're going to cut your taxes, and we're going to build a wall. And he had definitive messages. You could agree or disagree with them, but they were definitive. On the other side, Hillary Clinton's was, vote for me so I could be the first woman president. Oh, by the way, that guy's bad. And that's not how you win. And I keep looking at this race, and I don't know what Democrats are running on, quite frankly. What issue besides animus of Trump are they running on? And I'm not sure I know what it is. I think it's health care, but I don't hear a message.
Let me be the devil's advocate. You don't think that's a big enough message? Because there are a lot of people out there that are really angry at President Trump, and this feeds into it. And if the other side is feeling good about the economy, maybe that's not powerful enough. And the anti-Trump is it has more momentum. Real quick.
I would agree with you. Pre-Kavanaugh, I think post-Kavanaugh, a sleeping giant was awakened, and there was a tremendous enthusiasm now where there's an enthusiasm gap before of 10, 12 points. That's even now. And Ford O'Connell said it best. Whoever gets their people out best will keep the House. The Senate's probably staying in Republican hands.
Sorry to cut it short for the breaking news. I hope you'll come back soon. Joe Concha, always fantastic. Thank you.